I've been seeing things, just going through my Twitter timeline and stuff like that, and I'm seeing stuff. D'Angelo Russell is a bust. Are you guys kidding me? Do you know how hard? Do you know how hard it is to be in the NBA and be a superstar or be a top 5 talent? It's very hard. And the transition from college to the NBA, it's a big difference. It's a lot of guys who dominated college basketball. You couldn't hold Christian Laettner. This is the greatest Duke player of all time. You couldn't hold Christian Laettner in college. In the NBA, it was like, well, you know what I'm saying? College to the NBA, it's a big deal. You're talking about a guy that's coming from the Big Ten conference, and he played with a bunch of scrubs. He made them look good because he was, he was the best player on the team. This guy hasn't played basketball since, I don't know, his last college tournament. Maybe played a couple pickup games or, just the little tryouts. But, I mean, this guy hasn't had he hasn't had the NBA experience. So when you come to the NBA and you get the NBA experience, you're like, wow, this is a different pace. This is a different beast. A lot of guys, they come to the NBA, they read the timelines, they see the media, oh, this kid's going to be a superstar. So they kind of think, oh, I could just play with my talent. I could just win with my talent alone. But in the NBA, you gotta have some kind of hard work, and you gotta have that chip on your shoulder. Because if you look at all the top guys, they all have a chip on their shoulder. Even LeBron. LeBron has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he's the best player in the world, which he is. Kevin Durant, he has an injury now. They have to figure out how's he going to come back. People are going to be doubting him. Is he the same Kevin Durant? Steph Curry. Everybody said, oh, this dude's like 100 pounds soaking wet. This guy can't play. When he was getting drafted out of college, I think it was Fran Fraschilla said, this guy was 130 pounds soaking wet. This dude was little. He wasn't going to be nothing. And he went to a small school because he didn't get recruited. So he plays with a chip on his shoulder. James Harden, everybody said, oh, this guy don't play defense. He ain't nothing. He ain't nobody. He ain't going to be shit. Right? So he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Russell Westbrook, he's always getting casted as Robin. Everybody think he's Robin to Kevin Durant's Batman. So he has a chip on his shoulder. He plays like with that aggression. Like, I'm gonna show you, I'm an alpha male. I'm not number 2. I'm an alpha male. So most players that are superstars, that are at least in the top 5, they have a chip on their shoulder. So when you come into the league as a number 2 pick, you kind of come in thinking everything's handed to you, but you have to work for it. Now, I believe the kid's going to be an elite superstar. I think he's going to be, but we got to get a guy time, man. You remember when Kobe was shooting airball free throws and the Utah Jazz game when he was airball the shot? But no, Kobe came in the league balling, just like LeBron. Some guys come straight in the league and they just ball. But time will tell. Now, Jahlil Okafor is a sure thing. I know a lot of guys are looking at Jahlil Okafor like, man, we should have drafted Jahlil Okafor. Jahlil Okafor is going to be great. He's not going to be good. He's going to be a great player because you could already see at the age of 19, he has the physical tools already. His footwork is way ahead of a lot of guys. His footwork is incredible. If you just look at the way Jahlil Okafor moves and the way he positions himself, he's going to be incredible. And his defense is going to get better. He's going to be a special player. And the problem is with D'Angelo Russell, he's the risky pick because you don't know. He has the court vision. He will be special, but you have to give this guy time. This is why every time in a preseason or in the beginning of every season. All of the players and stuff, they come in out of shape. They come in 5, 10, maybe even 15 pounds overweight, over their playing weight. And they have to play themselves into shape. This is what Kobe used to hate about Shaq. Shaq used to never come into camp in shape. He used to come 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds overweight, and will work the weight off as he got in condition. So a lot of times you see the players. I remember the Miami Heat when they first got together. Oh my God, this is a disaster. Oh, they went to 3 finals. I don't know, was it? Yeah, 3 finals. They won 2, but no, they went to 4 finals. Let's see. They lost to the Mavericks. They won against the. Yeah, I think they went to 4 finals. I'm not sure. 2014. Yeah, went to 4 finals, and they won 2. Lost to the Spurs, lost to the Mavericks, and won 2. So the beginning of that preseason, oh my God, these guys are just horrible. How is it going to fit? LeBron James is just making all types of blunders. This is just Dwayne Wade just doesn't fit. This is just a disaster. Coach doesn't know what he's doing, right? And then they learned how each other played, and then they got it together. A lot of players. I remember CP3. He came in one season. He was out of shape. He was on the Clippers. Just barely started with the Clippers, and he was kind of out of shape. But he worked himself in. And Kobe sometimes had started the season where he wasn't in quite the best condition. He had to work himself into shape. So this is the same thing with these young kids, and they just get thrown. They let the leash off and just let these kids go. Now, like I said, I think that the offense is it's not a great fit for him. Now, I know that I've heard that the Spurs run the same offense, but I just don't. I'm not seeing it. I just don't really like this offense. I don't think it's going to work. I think that we need a more. They need to give the boys some more autonomy. But D'Angelo Russ is not a bust, man. I mean, come on now. Let's just calm down. Let's just stop this shit. Let's just nip it in the bud right now. All right? Like, give the kids some time to grow. All right? He had a bad game. This is a summer league against a bunch of scrubs, right? The competition is going to get harder. So that means he has to work harder. But he has the intangibles to be a superstar in this league. It's going to take some time. I mean, come on now. Like I said, this is the adjustment period. Right now, Jordan Clarkson is probably the best out of the young talent. But that's because he had that year of learning what the NBA is. So if you think Jordan Clarkson, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. This kid's going to be special. Now, Randall, I am concerned. I think Randall, he needs to study Lamar Odom, because I think that's going to be more of his game. He's going to have more of a Lamar Odom game, because his game is very awkward. He goes for awkward shots. Like, you know how Blake Griffin goes for these awkward shots? That's his game. He can get to the rim, but he just doesn't know how to finish at the rim. So that's my concern with Julius Randle. I have a genuine concern. I don't know. Because he has a Lamar Odom type game, but he doesn't know how to quite utilize it the right way. So that's my only concern with Julius Randle. But he'll learn that. He'll get better. He's going to get boards. He's going to be a special player. But I don't know if he's going to be that superstar that we all think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a decent player. He's going to be a productive player. You know, if he turns out to be Zach Randolph, shit, ain't nothing wrong with that. May not be a superstar, but he might be very, very productive. Or he might be Lamar Odom during that 6-man year, which is still good. So, I mean, let's just give it time. I see that D'Angelo Russell eventually will be a superstar, I think. And, hey, if it doesn't pan out, hey, he's going to be what? Michael Conley? Michael Conley's underrated. He doesn't get enough recognition. He's not in the big city, not in the big town, doesn't have the commercial or the shoe deal. Both out of Ohio State kind of have a similar kind of game, but you know what I'm saying? We got to give the boy some time. He's not going to be a bust, though. I know that. Will he be as good as Okafor? I don't know. Time will tell. Will he be as good as Karl Anthony Towns? I don't know. I think he's talented. Sorry, Stephen A. Smith came on the radio and said that 3 Scouts was like, man, he's head and shoulders, leaps and bounds ahead of where the other superstars were at 19. So what does that tell you? But I know it's nervous because you're looking at Okafor, you're looking at Moutier, you're looking at all of these Kristaps Porzingis, you're looking at all these guys. Man, did we fuck up? Did we mess up? Come on, man. Just calm down. Let's wait to All-Star break. Let's see. Because I remember Clarkson started to emerge around All-Star break. I had to make this video, man. Come on. This was ridiculous. Clarkson is not Russell is not a Russ. We gotta get a guy some time. It's playing in the NBA is an onerous task. I mean, because these guys, you come from guys who know they're not gonna make it to the NBA to guys who, they playing because they're not trying to go back to Greece or go back to France or go back overseas and play in Turkey. These guys are hungry. They have a certain type of hunger about them where they're like, I have to feed my family. So they're going to play more aggressive. They're going to be more mindful of all the tricks. These are guys who, in the NBA, they've been through some things. This is serious. This is not a relaxed game. It's people fighting for 10-day contracts. So let's just get a guy some time. I had to make this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.